Hey gamers, it's grindthisgame here with a new game for the channel called Manor Lords. Now this is just a demo. I think the demo is available until the end of October 10th. Alright, let's get started here. There's only one kind of difficulty level available. Now we can select our dude or dudette here. I will call them Sir Grindy. Now this game, it has a little bit of kind of UX issues. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but it looks amazing. It's probably the best looking city builder that I've seen. So we'll choose our crest here. And let's get started. The crest, picking out the crest is pretty detailed. So here we go. It took me a little while to kind of figure out what the hell I was doing to get started. But we got this early quest here. Build a granary, logging camp, forager hut, and a storehouse. So we will accept. So we start off with kind of 5 families, and each family has 1 person in it to begin with. And you have unassigned workers and assigned workers. I couldn't really get them to do anything in the beginning because I had to assign them manually. But they look pretty cool. They're just chilling out. They're waiting for me to tell them to do something. Homeless tents. So first thing we're going to do here is build the logging camp so we can chop down some trees. And it warns you that you're going to run out of timber if you don't put this down first. And then each kind of building has a connection point where you can attach a road. So we'll build a road that connects off to the main road here, kind of past the work camp. And after you assign someone manually to the ox cart, they'll start moving logs around and stuff. You start off with some materials and some food. Now the other road I built was for the future forager hut up by the berries. So this is where I got a little bit confused. It said all the workers were busy, but all the workers were standing around. And it's because they were unassigned.
Can I stay with his drink? Is that this sun or fire above? There's no oval. Tomorrow, find a new home. Is that this sun or fire above?
So after hearing a little bit of their dialogue here, queuing up the granary so we can store some food, because otherwise I think it rots if it's not stored away. Now each of these buildings, almost all the buildings need workers, and you assign 1 family to them. Now the construction of the buildings is really cool.
Heaven shine down and grow the land.
Here we go. I've assigned 1 family. There's also you can set idle workers to work at each building. You can have a dedicated person. I dedicated 2 people to the ox at first, but that's probably overkill. So up in the toolbar you can see assigned families, unassigned families. Now we're gonna watch the action happen. Got the ox carrying over the log here. It looks pretty cool. Even on the fastest speed though, things take a while to build, so I've edited this way down and sped up several sections, because otherwise it's 3.5 hours of footage to kind of play through the demo, but I've shrunk it down to 30 minutes just because it takes a long time to wait for stuff to build. So here they go. It's really neat watching them build stuff. I don't know what's with the echoey sound. It sounds like we're in like in a warehouse when we're building this thing, but it's fun to watch them kind of build it up. There is some clipping issues with the little guys, but it is a demo, so. So this thing's almost complete. The artwork is just really, really nice. Okay, we gotta assign some workers here. Otherwise they won't chop wood. Now there's the default is an unlimited work area, so just chop trees, I think, kind of the closest trees first and then work their way out. Or you can assign a place where they'll cut down trees. I just let them cut wherever. Now this is the granary going up. And this actually also requires a person to work in it. And then this is the storehouse. To store all our goods. Beautiful, beautiful. We will assign a worker to that as well. What's left? The forager hut. So we're going to put that up by the berries. Up here in the forest. And it kind of clears the trees automatically when you place a building, which is kind of handy. Now I tried to extend the road here, but there's no attachment points for this building, I don't think. So we'll just build a road close and then try to attach it later after it's built. Now roads are free and instant build, which is nice. So there it is. It is built and our quest is complete. The first quest at least. Here's all our assigned families and what they're doing. So I did connect that up. So humble beginnings, here we go. This is kind of quest number 2. We need to build a well and a burgage plot. Burgage plot? When you go to build stuff, you have these overlays over on the right, and I click the underground water one. I think it actually comes up automatically when you build a well. So you got to build a well on the blue stream part. And this is where I'm going to put some houses. The way the houses go in is really neat. If you have like a bounded area with roads, and then you build this thing, you pick the 4 corners, and then it kind of set some spots out. But I don't have enough wood, so I'll have to chop some more logs down first. The water glistening on the roads and the roofs looks really, really nice. And later on, I'll show you how you can take a first-person perspective and kind of walk through your village. So everything in this game must be 3D rendered, unlike a game like Banish, where I think it's just sprites. Where I'm not sure there's any 3D rendering going on. This game really made my GPU work. Okay, so instead of a triangle area, I'm going to make more of a rectangle here. And we'll pick some 4 corners. So that assigns 2. We could have done kind of 5 at once, but I'm going to put 2 in first and then another smaller 3 kind of homesteads here. It allows for kind of a really organic look to your village, which is nice. So here go the houses. Speed mode. Now it's warning us here that people are going to be joining the village now that we got some houses up. The women and children are coming. And we'll have to make sure they have enough food and firewood to stay warm in the winter and keep fed. So after we get these 5 homesteads up, or burgage plots, I don't really know what burgage means. I'll need to look that up. Okay, quest number 2 done. Let's check a little message here. Okay, next set of things we need to do are level 2 burgage plots. A food stall, a firewood stall, and a clothing stall, which go in kind of like a little market area. Now there's not much hand holding in this game, so you kind of have to figure out what you need. And there are some overviews that kind of show you what you need here. Now, each of these burgage plots you can build like a sub-building. So I built a little vegetable plot, which required one tool, and I only had one tool to start with, so I wasn't able to build any more until I got some tools later on, which I bought at the market. The trader, not the market. So here we're going to put in a little area for the market. It didn't need to be this big. I made it way too big because the marketplace buildings are kind of tiny. And yeah, it clears out the forest there for you. And then there's 3 little stalls you can put in. Now they're really tiny. And they put in this kind of crisscrossing mini roads, which kind of confused me at first, but... so if you... They don't need to be this big, and I end up redoing it later on. Making it much smaller. You can rotate them, and I think they need to kind of face out towards the road, but I'm not sure. These just make it easier for your settlers to get clothing, food, and firewood, I think. So there they go. Building away. And I just put in a hunter camp. You build that near a little animal icon. And you can set a hunting limit so you don't overhunt. Now it took me a while to figure out what all these little icons are doing, the requirements and stuff. So it turns out we need a variety of food, a variety of clothing, entertainment in the form of a pub, and a church. The church is pretty easy to build. We'll build that later. But for the pub, we actually need to build a farm to make barley, and then turn the barley into malt, and then turn the malt into beer or ale. And that's what satisfies that entertainment. Here we're putting in another woodcutter lodge just to keep the firewood, because winter is coming. We're in month October here. The months go by pretty fast in this game. Now, like I said, you can set a work area. I just want to clear these trees first, but then later on I'll probably set it to unlimited. Or even move it. Now, if you move a building, it gets destroyed and you have to rebuild it. So it's not really moving it. Now, this is the marketplace. I figured I'd try to buy some of the ale instead of making it. And you are able to, but I ended up just building a farm where I made my own barley. But the other thing I can do here is sell some of my goods to make some money. Because you do need money to add sub-buildings to your homesteads. Put in the tannery here, because all the hides that we're getting from hunting the animals, we can turn those into leather. And the leather, excess leather, we can sell at that trader. Now there is kind of a global map with other villages that aren't ours, but I think we can, in the real game later on, we'll be able to take over, or take over those other villages, or become, allies with them and stuff. So we're waiting for pelts to turn into leather here. As it turns into winter. Now, the way the snow comes in is just super beautiful. Very gradually. And here we go with the church. It's a big building. It's a bunch of different bell sounds. I think I end up with the default there. Okay, and that goes in there goes in the tavern. But like I said, the tavern alone is not enough. You need to supply it with ale. Like I said, some of these buildings take a while to build, even on the fastest speed. So this is more kind of a chill out, relaxed game, I think, than hardcore kind of city builder. But I'm not sure, because later on I think there's going to be combat, because there's talk of soldiers and garrisons and all that sort of stuff. Okay, here we go with the farm. You there's two parts to the farm. You select an area for the actual field, and then later on you build a farmhouse to house the workers. And I'm going to make barley here. Now there's crop rotation, like some other games. I'm going to go barley in 1 year, barley in year 2, and then fallow in year 3. And fallow fields kind of regenerate the soil. And here we're going to... The trading took a while to figure out as well, but you can import, you can export, or you can kind of try to keep a balance, and it'll automatically sell or buy to maintain that balance. Now here's that first person perspective, which looks pretty amazing. You can run through your own village. It looks fantastic. So the game, I think it gets like an A+ for graphics. In terms of the UX, I think it's more like a B. I think there's improvements they need to make it a little bit clearer what needs to be done. And then there's a few little odds and ends, little bugs and stuff where they're with clipping and the weird echoey sounds and stuff. But generally it was pretty amazing for a demo. I love a red cape there. Okay, here's the farm plot. Now we're going to put the farm in beside it. And we'll assign at least one worker here. Watch them build it. Now some of this, like I said, some of this footage I've sped up because it takes a while. There's a threshing priority. I think for when you're doing wheat. I'm going to put in one worker for now. And let the idle workers work in the field as well. And you can see them plowing here. So the first thing they do is till the soil. And then they plant. They plant in spring and then they harvest in summer. And then it just sits in winter. Now we got 5 months until our supplies run out. I think that was based on firewood. You want to keep an eye on that. Here comes the barley. The first year was not a very big harvest. Now I put in a bloomery as well, up by the mine, and a smithy. So the bloomery turns the iron ore into kind of iron ingots, and then the smithy turns iron ingots into tools which you need to build certain things. I also put in a windmill. That's for grinding the wheat into flour. Now we're not growing wheat yet, but I do grow some later. Here's winter coming in. Just so nice looking, so pleasing. Here's where the UX I think can use some improvements in terms of what you actually need. And I think there was a bug with the potential bug with the food. I had a variety of food later on, but this thing stayed red, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Here's some poor woman schlepping around some giant piece of meat. That thing probably weighs like a lot. And we can kind of peek inside here. Just drops on the floor. Disappears. Let's see what Fred's up to here. What's his real name? I forget. He's just going for a walk. How about this guy? Oh, I love his haircut. Good hair. He's got like a little stick for beating down people. Man with a bucket going to clean up some toilets maybe. The barley is coming in. Look at this beautiful barley. Soon to be turned into malt and beer. Okay, I'm going to put in some more houses because I don't have enough workers to keep up with everything. So we'll put in 4 more homesteads there. Now this is the soon-to-be added policy development production. It's kind of like a research tree, I think. It's not implemented in the demo though. Okay, we're building the malt house, I think. And the king is demanding his taxes. Of course. in 365 days. Now this thing kind of goes every year. You'll owe some money. Now I always had enough money to pay him, so it wasn't an issue, but I think that King's Demand quest repeats and repeats and then finally goes away. I guess once we paid off our debts. Here's kind of the village zoomed out map. And I'm just going to set this target stock lower than my current so that it sells some meat. And then also I want to import some cloth because I want to make some variety of clothes. Also going to put in the weaver's workshop that turns flax into linen. Now I'm putting in another clothing stall because my first clothing stall was filled with leather and I didn't see a way to empty it. I tried to sell most of the leather, but I got impatient, so I put another clothing stall in, and that allowed them to put some cloth or linen into this. You'll see in a second here, it'll pop up. So we got some leather, and then there goes some cloth. So that should increase the variety of clothing in order to check this final box. Now it still says the food is going to cause people to be upset. But we do have a variety of food, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe we need even more variety. I do put in another food stall just to try to get some more variety of food, because we only have eggs and veggies in here right now, but we also have meat and what else? That might be it, actually. Now this doesn't clear the issue up, but I ended up just upgrading the houses to level 2 anyway. Yeah, veggies, meat, eggs, and milk, I think. We're getting the ready to upgrade signal here, so I'm going to go ahead and start upgrading these houses to level 2. Even though we still have that warning. Let's do it. There's a typo there, Levy. It's a demo. Now each of these houses has like a kind of unique look to them, which is really neat. I don't know how many different varieties there are, but I'll definitely be playing this game when it comes out for real. It's very chilled out. As long as they fix the UX issues, I'll probably play it anyway and just figure stuff out. So these are kind of wooden houses instead of like straw houses. Hopefully the big bad wolf doesn't come because we don't have stone houses yet. We can see here this house looks a lot different than the other house. Now the royal tax quest completed. And then soon the comforts and conveniences quest will be done. You can see the little chickens plugging away in there. We got a little goat pasture in one of the houses. There is some walking through walls here. Maybe they're the undead. Oh, that goat just walked through a fence. He's escaping. But this house definitely looks different than the other one. And we finished the next quest. So next, the next big thing, I think this is the final quest, is to build a manor house. This requires its own little area. You need to build a bailey wall. It doesn't need to be this big. I wanted it to be a big area because I thought it would be a cool, like, This is the, he's not the king, but he's kind of like for the, I guess the leader of the town, maybe. So pretty expensive wall to build here. Took 13 logs. Definitely doesn't need to be that big. It could probably be about half as big to fit the manor house, the tax collector, and the there's a garrison tower. And once you've built the fence, it says you need to build like a gatehouse. I don't know if I was facing it the right way. It wasn't clear, like arrow in, arrow out. Don't know which one makes sense. So I just built it facing in. Now that gatehouse does have an attachment point kind of to the road. And the actual manor house, I tried to build it on the road here, doesn't allow it. It has to be kind of flush with this exterior fence, it seems. So I just ended up building it here. Could see this thing go up. It's a pretty big building. It has like 2 separate buildings. I love the little ox dragging the logs in. It's so cute. You can hear him kind of moving away. The atmospheric effects in this game are really nice. The rain is quite nice. Okay, it's almost done. Just need this little outbuilding. Now that unlocked policies, and we're going to build a tax collector next. So we can start getting some cash. So you can see the area I built was like way, way too big. It could probably even be a third of what I did. Now we're going to go with the basic taxation here of 1 silver. Now that will change the approval rating by -3%, but we got a high approval rating right now, so I think it's a good trade-off. There's other policies you can put in as well. Now the Garrison Tower. I don't think this thing does anything in the demo, but I tried to build everything that I could. It took a while to build. 1 full year, I think. Let's go see how everyone's doing. I got the final few boards to put on here. And the roof is on. Now this building, the Garrison Tower and the taxation building, said that it is disconnected from the road network, but I couldn't figure out a way to attach it to the road network. There was no attachment point, so that might be work in progress. Yeah, there didn't seem to be an option. I tried to put a road in this way anyway, but still disconnected. So the other couple of things I tried to do were to make goats. No, sheep. I want to raise some sheep. It's a pretty nice looking village there. Pretty happy with how it looks. Looks like we have 3 different versions of the houses there. Got some chickens and some goats. Let's take a little walk around town here. Like how fast the wheel is spinning on that thing. Excuse me. We'll head over to the Bailey. And let's take another little short walk through the city, town. Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Looks like some good veggies there. Going for a jog in my my velvet robe. Excellent work, gents. Excellent work. Keep hammering that ground. Hammer that mud. Good job. Good job. Sounds like I'm running on the moon or something. I try to turn around to see my face here, but it doesn't quite work. Okay, we're gonna put a pasture in. So there's two parts to this, kind of like the farm. You put the pasture in. And then you build the sheep farm. That's where we get wool from the sheep. Now you can't build it in the pasture, you have to build it outside. And I tried to import some sheep here, but I was never able to actually get any sheep. I did wait quite a while, but I never got sheep, so that's okay. It was just a demo. I wanted to at least try. And the other thing I tried to do, which I was able to do, is grow some wheat and turn the wheat into flour at the windmill and turn the flour into bread. But first we need to grow that, and we need this building, the communal bakery, communal oven, sorry. Here's the hunter working on some meat here. There goes the communal oven. Smaller building. And I needed to assign someone to the windmill in order for it to kind of get going. It started spinning the minute I put a person in there. And spinning really fast on the full settings. It looked kind of funny. There she goes, making flour for us. So now that we got some flour, should be able to see some bread come in. We'll take that worker and get them in the communal oven instead. Not actually in the oven, because that would be painful, but we'll get the bread in the oven. Okay, here comes the bread. Here comes the bread. Oh, there we go. First piece of bread. And I think that's going to be it for the demo. The game's release date is to be determined, and hopefully they have kind of an early access, because I'm itching to play this again. It seems like the scope is going to be much bigger than what I explored here, with other cities and towns and trading and warfare, and looks pretty promising. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.